share one mantra, very wonderful mantra, easy to learn, and very helpful. So this is a Mangalacharan verse, invocation, which we can chant before we speak, before we do kirtan, or ladies before cooking, in the morning when getting up. So you can fold your hands and repeat after me. And you can record that mantra also. That would be helpful.
Mukunda Datta Prabhu ki?
Yeah. Okay, you fold your hands and repeat after me. Gurave, Gaura Chandraya, Radhikayai, Tadalaya, Krishnaya, Krishna Bhaktaya, Tadbhaktaya, Namo Namaha. So the meaning is, I offer my obeisances unto my spiritual master. That means the Diksha Guru or the Shiksha Guru, instructing or initiating spiritual master. I offer my obeisances unto Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga, also known as Gaura Chandra, unto Srimati Radhani, her abode and her associates, the gopis, obeisances unto Krishna, Krishna's devotees and all the devotees. It may be devotees of Ram, devotees of Krishna, we offer respect to everyone. So that mantra you can learn and recite early morning when you get up. Night time before sleeping. So we chant one more time. One line by one line. Gurave Gaura Chandraya, Radhikaya Tadalaya, Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya, Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. One more time. Gurave Gaura Chandraya, Radhikaya Tadalaya, Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya, Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. So you may learn this verse and that will be very helpful. Hare Krishna. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sripad Mukunda Datta Prabhu. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sripad Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sripad Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Radhe Radhe Govinda, Govinda Radhe, 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 Radhe Radhe Govinda, Govinda Radhe. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Radhe Govinda Jaya Radhe Govinda 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Jai Gauranga Jaya Jai Gauranga Jai Gauranga Jai Gauranga Jaya Gaura Hari Jai Gauranga Jaya Gaura Hari Jaya Satchidananda Jaya Satchidananda Jaya Satchidananda Jaya Satchidananda Gaura Hari Jaya Satchidananda Gaura Hari Gaura Hari Jaya 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 Gaura Hari Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe.
Jaya Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe.
Jaya Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Jaya Radhe Shyam.
Jaya Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam,
Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Nitai Satyananda, Nitai Satyananda, Nitai Satyananda, Jaya Nitai Satyananda. Jaya Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai. Nitai Gaura Haribo, Haribo, Nitai Gaura Haribo. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande Hare Hare Bol. Jaya Sripad Paramahamsa Prabhupada Sheta Sattva Srishamachila. Aisi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jaya Sripad Paramahamsa Prabhupada Sheta Sattva Srishamachila. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Kuli Vaishnavrinda ki Shirupsi Sanatan Bhatta Raghunathi Jeev Gopal Bhatta Saraghunathar Goswami Prabhu ki Prem se Kosi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sridhari Gaura Bhaktavrinda ki Sri Radha Krishna Gopal Gopinath Chand Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhana ki jai, Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Mathura Dham ki jai, Mayapur Dham ki jai, Jagannathpuri Dham ki jai, Vrinda Devi Tulsi Devi ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Ganga Yamuna Devi ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan Yagi ki jai, Sri Sri Gaunitai ki jai, Sri Sri Krishna Balaram ki jai, Sri Radha Shyam Sundar ki jai, Go Premanande Hari Hari Go, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. All glories to the Assembly, all glories to the Assembly, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Guru, all glories to Sri Prabhupada. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutabadagamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bindhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopikanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tatta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prishabhano Sade Devi Pamami Hari Priye Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyaevacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivadari Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Nama Eva Kevalam Kona Nasteva Gatyananyata Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came to introduce the chanting of the holy names. So that was his main activity. And there's so much glorification of the holy names of the Lord. So Krishna Nama no different. Madhuram Madhurebhyopi Mangalebhyopi Mangalam Pavanam Pavanebhyopi Hare Nama Eva Kevalam. So chanting the holy names, that is the only way to get liberation, to get bhakti in this age of Kali, to make advancement in spiritual life. So Madhuram Madhurebhyopi. So there are many sweet things. So Krishna is sweet. So Krishna Nam is sweet. And of course, the devotees, they like sweets also. You like sweets? You like sweets? You like sweets? Everyone likes sweets? Rasgulla, Rasmalai, Sandesh. But how many you can eat? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the stomach is full. Sometimes devotees, previously they were doing some competition, who can eat more. Vaisheshika Prabhu, you can ask Vaisheshika Prabhu. He told me personally one time they had a competition in New York. Who can eat the most gulab jamun? So 3 devotees were there after the Sunday feast. So they were eating 5 gulab jamun, 10 gulab jamun, 15, 20. So one of the 3 backed out. 2 were left. Vaisheshika Prabhu and 1 more. Anyway, you don't have to ask him if you don't want. So then they were eating more, 30, 40, 50. And then the second one, okay, that's it, I cannot eat more. So Vaisheshika Prabhu won. But we cannot eat so much. You may get an upset stomach. But anyhow, sometimes devotees, they were doing when they're young. When you're old, you cannot do anymore. So, but there's a limit to how much you can eat. Rasgulla, gulab jamun, rasmalai. But Krishna Nam, There's no limit, no limit. You can chant as much as you want, and it will always be sweet. You will not get an upset stomach. Maybe you'll get tired after some time. But if you have nam ruchi, taste for the holy names, you can go on 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. There's an associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Vakreshwar Pandit. He was a good singer and a dancer. One time he was chanting and dancing for 72 hours. We can hardly imagine, but it is mentioned, so we believe. And so we chant 1 hour and then we become tired. Sometimes it's a slot. Yeah, for the adults 1 hour and then the other devotee will sing. For the children 20 minutes slot, right? Half an hour slot. So but to chant 2 hours or 3 hours at a stretch for one devotee is difficult. But some devotees are able to do. Those who have the taste for chanting the holy names. Those who are powerful and who have a strong voice and a good head and who are spiritually inclined, who are advanced. Like Ainda Prabhu. Anyone has heard about Ainda Prabhu? Anyone met Ainda Prabhu? Who met Ainda Prabhu?
Not, we just saw him once.
Or you never met him, you never spoke to him?
No.
I had the good fortune to meet him many times. We were good friends. Talking hours about Krishna, blessing the deities together. So he used to chant for many hours. I met him first time in New York, and he was going out in New York, and he had made one kind of moving temple.
Yes.
He had one truck, and he had very beautiful on the side. He opened the truck and he made a beautiful, he had made an altar for us devotees to help, and then he was fixing that. And then the deities were there and he was chanting in front of the deities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. Also then later he came to Vrindavan, and I was also in Vrindavan. And every day he was chanting, because Prabhupada's time, Prabhupada introduced Akhanda Kirtan, 24 hours chanting, day and night, the holy names. But then there were not enough devotees to continue, but then Ainda Prabhu again, he started in 1986, on Dashera. So, no, on Vijay Dashami. So before Kartik, and until now, so it will be almost 40 years this year. So in the beginning there were not many devotees, so many times, but what he did, so they had 3 hours slot, 3 hours, 3 hours. But then sometimes one devotee is chanting 1 hour, then another devotee. But on festival days, and Ainda Prabhu, he was exemplary, because there were not many devotees, he himself was chanting for hours. On festival days also, when we have Abhishek of the deities, for example of Dashtami, then he used to start already before we do the Abhishek, like just after the class, 9:45 or 10. And an Abhishek starting at 10:15, going till 11, and Ainda Prabhu is chanting and chanting and chanting. And all the devotees are ecstatically responding. And then we offer Bhoga, and then noontime Artik, Ainda Prabhu still chanting. And then 1 o'clock, the program is over. And devotees are going eagerly to take prasadam, a feast. But Ainda Prabhu was still chanting and chanting till 2 o'clock, till the devotees have to go and the temple is cleaned. And then coming in the evening again, 6 o'clock, till 7 o'clock, till Artik time. And on festival days after the Artik, till 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, then we had special darshan on Drodashtami, Charan darshan. At 10 o'clock, and I will be chanting. So chanting for many, many hours. So, because is a taste for chanting the holy names, a namruchi, or if one is love for Krishna, and one is a singer, of course, then one can do it. But not everyone is a singer, so if you cannot chant for 5-6 hours, no problem. But at least we should chant our japa 2 hours every day. Everyone has japa mala? Everyone chanting 16 rounds? 16? 16? Okay, very good. How many? 8? 6? 4?
I'm trying like
2 to 4, okay. 4 is better than 2. You came in the beginning? No, you came a little later, huh? We'll repeat the mantra also, which you chant at the beginning. So you can also learn. That will help you. So, but we try as much as we can, chanting the holy names, and then we can, because Krishna and Krishna Nama are different. So Krishna is sweet, so Krishna Nama is sweet. And then, so sometimes in Vedic culture we do some auspicious activities. Mangalam Mangalebhyopi. But the most auspicious activity is chanting the holy names, the Maha Mantra. So, for example, when there's a marriage ceremony, according to culture, Indian culture, there's a yagya. Or when the child is born, the name-giving ceremony is there. And so then the yagya is performed. And so that is considered auspicious. That is usually done. But the devotees, they will chant the holy names also. The yagya is there, that is auspicious, but they will chant the holy names also, because that is most auspicious. And the more we chant, the better it is. So as much time as we can, we should chant. Pavanam pavanebhyopi. In this way, it is also most purifying. The consciousness becomes purified, the heart becomes purified, and the senses become purified, our existence is purified. And when we are completely pure, then we can perceive Krishna, then we can see Krishna, and then we can see ourselves as spirit soul. So therefore, Haryanama eva kevalam. Sa guru sa pita chapi samatta bandha vivisa shikshet sarasmatum. Haryanama eva kevalam. So the spiritual master in the age of Kali is instructing the disciples especially to chant the holy names. At the time of initiation, the spiritual master is accepting the disciple. He's only asking one thing. What is he asking?
Chant.
How many rounds you are chanting?
Minimum 16.
Minimum 16, he was saying. Minimum 16. It means we should chant more, if possible, but minimum 16. But of course, if you're busy or you're going to school, then 16 is okay. But if you're too busy, then like in India, so much pressure is there. Maybe in America also pressure is there in the school.
Yes.
Lot of studies, lot of homework, competition. And so sometimes it is difficult, but we should have a minimum of chanting some rounds. If you can manage 16, wonderful. If not, then 8. If not, then 4. But just like eating, we're eating every day. So we have to chant every day. So that is most purifying. And then we can perceive Krishna when we are chanting purely. Therefore we have to avoid the offenses towards the holy names also. And we should have a good relationship with all the devotees, avoid Vaishnava parad. We worship the deities and try to avoid offenses while worshipping the deities. And then we can quickly advance in our spiritual life. So the spiritual master is instructing the disciple to chant. The parents, it is their duty to chant and then to tell the children to chant the holy names. And if we have friends, then we tell our friends to chant. So, therefore the acharyas, as Mahaprabhu has told, introduce the chanting of the holy names. It is the Yuga Dharma. And nothing is as important as chanting the holy names. For example, we have to get knowledge also, that is important. Therefore we hear from the spiritual master, we read the scriptures, and that is helpful. But at the same time, always most important is the chanting of the holy names. Na nama sadarisham jnanam. So nothing equals the chanting of the holy names. Knowledge is important, but that is not equal to the chanting of the holy names. If we get knowledge but we don't chanting the holy names, then we will not get realization. But by getting knowledge and then chanting the holy names, we will get realization. There's jnana and vigyan, knowledge and realization. Na-nama sadarisham vrata. So we do some vrat. Ekadashi vrat. Everyone doing Ekadashi vrat? Ekadashi vrat? Kartik vrat? Everyone doing? Month of Kartik, a little some austerity. Every day you do Astakam, Damodara Astakam?
Yes, Damodara.
That we should do, minimum.
Yeah.
And Purushottam Vrat, something special in month of Purushottam? You doing something special?
Chorashtakam, Jagannathashtakam.
Acha, Chorashtakam. Okay, and Jagannathashtakam, very good. Sadhu, sadhu.
Very good.
And any of the boys? Chorashtakam also. Okay, and?
The 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita.
15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, very good. Purushottam Yoga. In Purushottam month, Purushottam Vrat, Purushottam Yoga, for Purushottam Krishna. And someday we'll chant some praise and glorification of Mahaprabhu because he's praying Purushottam, so we may get Krishna praying.
Hare Krishna.
So, Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is most merciful. And if we sincerely chant the holy names and pray to him, then we will get Krishna praying ultimately. Of course, actually Krishna praying is there in the heart, but it is dormant. If we follow the process given by Mahaprabhu, by the acharyas, and then our consciousness is purified, and if we get the mercy of Guru Garanga, then the love will manifest for Guru Garanga and Krishna. So therefore we do some special endeavor. Sometimes on Ekadashi we try to chant more Purushottam Vrat, if we can chant more, or Kartik, that will help us. So of course if one is already doing so much, then he may not have to do something special. But it is to encourage the devotees to do a little more than usual. And those who are intelligent, they do a little more and then they think, well, I'm doing a little more and it's wonderful. Why I should now go back to a little less again? Keep it up. So, like 16, minimum 16 rounds. At one point I thought, yeah, I should chant more. And then I started chanting 20. And then I thought, well, why to go back? Let's keep it to 20. Of course, if you have time. If you're busy working or going to school is difficult, but At the same time, we may see that many times we waste some time also. Like mobile is there, scrolling, oh this is there, and time is just going. Oh, half an hour is gone, I'm just looking this and that. Of course we have to be informed and know what is happening in this world, but sometimes we just become overwhelmed by informed, right? It happens sometimes? No?
Yes.
Yes? Ladies, no?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Yes? Also? Sometimes? Yeah? So then, in the month of Purushottam, maybe we can maybe do a little less, a little more chanting, a little less mobile, if possible, or Kartik in the month of Kartik. That will help also. Na-nama sadrisham dhyanam. So we should always remember Krishna and forget Krishna. Anyone is always remembering Krishna here? No, not easy, huh? To always remember Krishna. Or to meditate. We can close our eyes and if we have not seen Krishna, then difficult. But then we have seen the deities and we may remember the deities. Or we have seen some nice pictures. Of course here we don't even have to close the eyes, we can see the pictures here. Oh, beautiful pictures there of Radha and Krishna. But then we're going here and there, or we're closing the eyes while chanting, and then, or even just trying to sit and try to remember Krishna is not easy. But by chanting the holy names, then Krishna will manifest sooner or later. And then in the beginning a little bit, just like of course, just like in yoga also, we have to follow some rules and regulations and we're doing bhakti yoga, but even in Ashtanga yoga is there. Yam niyam, you follow some rules and regulations, you sit properly. Sit properly everyone, yeah? And then pranayam and the pratyahara, controlling the senses, and then comes dharana. So holding the form of the Lord, Krishna. Sometimes you may be able to do, but if you are not pure, it is not possible to always remember. But by practice, we become purified in consciousness, and we are endeavoring that Krishna will be pleased, and then we may remember him more. That is dhyan. And then ultimately we can be absorbed in Krishna, samadhi. Samadhi, the intelligence is fixed on Krishna. So but simply by sitting down it will be difficult, but by chanting the holy names, then we can remember Krishna more and more. By practice. So we chant and we hear, but then we pray to Guru Garanga and Krishna also, that we may sometimes remember Krishna, we may remember him. And so by prayers then by chanting the holy names, Krishna will manifest. And the pure devotees, when they're chanting, then Krishna will fully manifest. And the pure devotee, when he's chanting, so he can see Krishna, Krishna's associates, Krishna's qualities, and then he can even see Krishna's pastimes. That time, no need of mobile. We can see Krishna, and then it's one pastime after the other one. But that is not easily achieved. But by practice, then we can see that actually the process is working. The na-nama sadrisham phalam. We perform some activity and then we expect some result. For example, one has to earn some money, so one is working, getting some money, or one is a priest or pujari, he's doing some puja, he will get some dakshina, some remuneration. So, of course the priest, he should not be greedy, I have to get something, but it is a seva. But then it is mentioned in scriptures that one should give a dakshina to the priest. And it is natural, and if one is working, one is supposed to get some money. And so on. But when we chant the holy names, of course we do for the pleasure of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for the pleasure of Krishna. But we are not deprived of any results. It's not that we don't get any result. But what we get ultimately? Prem, Krishna Prem. But that will take some time. But by chanting the holy names we can get realization also. We will get taste for chanting the holy names, and that is also one kind of fruit. Because then it becomes more easy to chant, and we can advance more and more. So the greatest result is there by chanting the holy names. And then Krishna will take care of all our needs. At the same time we have to be practical and we have to use our intelligence and be engaged in some activity to take care of ourselves or family or even a brahmachari, so he has to stay somewhere. But that is easier for a sannyasi, especially in India. The sannyasis, they are just chanting the holy names and they don't have to worry much. And Krishna will arrange everything. And actually Krishna is arranging for everyone. But householders, they have to use their intelligence a little bit to make some arrangement. But even Prabhupada used to say, there's no need to work for 12 hours, or 10 hours, or even 8 hours. So Prabhupada used to say, just work as much as possible so you can get some income and you can maintain yourself. We have to see time, place and circumstances, but by chanting the holy names, then whatever we need, that will be supplied. Yiyatamam papadante tam stataga bhajamyaham. What is it? Ananya chintantamam yajana payapasate testam nityaviyuktamam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Ananya chintantamam yajana payapasate. Those people who are always remembering me, or satatam kirtayantamam, chanting my names, or offering everything to me, yat karoshi yad yashnasi. So to them, I preserve what they have and I supply what they need. So one time there was one Brahmana and he was thinking, Pahamyaham, the Sanskrit word is there. I supply, I will give. I was thinking how Krishna will give personally to his devotees. He will make some arrangement to his energies. So I was thinking I will cross that. And then he was thinking, so we should write that, so Krishna will arrange, not that Krishna himself will arrange. And then he went to take his bath, and then he went to get some items for home. And they didn't have much at home, and his wife was also telling him, we have hardly anything at home to cook. And so Brahma is usually, so they're depending on Krishna, the teaching and doing some ceremonies, and that they are remunerated. They're not taking salary. So then he was going, and then Krishna Balaram were there to teach him a lesson that they're supplying, especially to those who are devoted. And then they're coming to the house of the Brahmana, and with 2 bags on the shoulder, and they're delivering that at home. And she was very much captivated. Oh, these are beautiful boys. And they bring so many things. And she's asking, where from you got this? Oh, your husband got these things and told us and asked us to bring that home. And one of the boys said, and actually your husband also beat me with a stick. And he was showing me the back. Two lines were there. Because with the pen he was crossing 2 times, Vaham Yaham. Just thinking, why is he doing that? I didn't know that he's sometimes becoming so cruel, doing like this. And then she told them sit down and gave them some prasad, and then they left. And then the Ramana is coming back. And then she's like scolding him, why you were one of these boys, when you were beating him with a stick or something, 2 marks were there on the back. And you asked them to carry these 2 bags, heavy bags, and he was bewildered. No, I didn't beat anyone, and I didn't give anything to anyone. But then he realized that this was Krishna. So Krishna is supplying everything. So the pastimes are there of the Lord that He's supplying to His devotees. He's arranging, or sometimes Himself is supplying. Krishna is so merciful. Na nama sadrusham tapaha. So sometimes you have to do some austerity. So from one point of view, so chanting the holy names is also a kind of austerity. And even if we are not well, or we are busy, then we may think, well, now I don't have the time to chant, but we should try to chant no matter what. In happiness or distress, if we are very busy also, we are not so well, but we should try to chant and do this austerity. And then we'll make so much, then we'll be able to please Krishna, and then we'll get His blessings. Na nama sadrisham shamam. Shamatha means to control. To control the mind and senses is not easy. The mind is going here and there, and the senses also. Even sometimes while chanting, but then we have to pray. And then if we are sincere, then Krishna will help us. So we can control our mind and our senses. So that is the best way, is by chanting the holy names. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Na nama sadrisham gati. So gati means the destination, the goal. So chanting the holy names is actually already the goal. But chanting the holy names, everything is achieved. And then further as it is explained, Nam eva param mukti. So we want to become liberated from this material world, attachment to this material world. But chanting the holy names, then we can develop our love for Krishna, then automatically we'll be liberated from this material existence. Nameva param shanti. Everyone wants to be peaceful. So by chanting the holy names you can be peaceful. Otherwise the mind, the conditioned soul is very restless. But by chanting the holy names you can be peaceful. Nameva param bhakti. So we engage in devotional service, bhakti. So chanting the holy names, that is an expression of bhakti. Nameva param priti. Priti is an expression of love. Even if sometimes we may not like to do it, we don't feel inspired, but if we do, it is a sign of love. Despite all difficulties, we chant. So that is devotional service. That is an expression of love. Nameva Prabhu Revacha. So Krishna is our Prabhu, our Lord. Or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Mahaprabhu. So Krishna Nam is also our Prabhu. Krishna Nam will guide us, Krishna Nam will help us. Nameva Param Guru. So the Spirit Master is there, or he may not be there, but then by chanting the holy names, then we will get guidance. Simply by chanting the holy names, what to do and what not to do, we will get inspiration. So therefore, Paramaradhyatam, Nameva Paramaradhyatam. So that is there. So the glories of the holy names are unlimited. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
And then by chanting the holy names, so first we of course try to chant nicely and we try to hear nicely Krishna Nam. So with determination, Nam Nishta. So Nam Ashray, we take shelter of the holy names. And then Nam Ruchi will be there. And then when we have the taste, then slowly but surely Nam Rup will be there. Nam, the name is there, Krishna Nam, and then Krishna Rup. That sometimes you may see Krishna slightly. Just like in a distance, or just like, for example, in the winter it is a little foggy, then we cannot see sometimes the people, or the cars or anything. Here also fog,
Yes.
in the winter,
Yes,
a lot of fog.
Sometimes, yeah. Yes.
Okay, in Vrindavan sometimes in the winter, January, very much foggy, you cannot see 1 meter. But then the fog will go away slowly, then again you can see. So in conditioned life, our consciousness is foggy. We cannot see Krishna. But as we become purified, or even at night time we don't see him, but then the sun is rising and then slowly we can see everything. Or for example, if you go somewhere towards one mountain, from far we can see the mountain, but we only see the mountain. But we come closer, then we can see some houses there. We come closer, we can see some people are there. And then we start going on the mountain, going up the mountain, then we can speak with the people also. So at the beginning we can see the holy abode of the Lord, or we know Gaur Vrindavan is there. And then we chant more, then we can see the Dham more close. And then we can slightly see Krishna. And then we can see Krishna better, the more we are pure. And then we can see Krishna's qualities, His beauty, Krishna playing the flute, Krishna's bodily features, Krishna having a beautiful turban and peacock feather. And then we can see Krishna's associates, Srimati Radharani, or the Gopas, Maria Yashoda, Nanda Baba. And then ultimately we can see Krishna's pastimes. Nam, Rup, Guna, Lila. But of course it will take some time. So as explained. So first a little bit and more and more and more. So but in the beginning, so we have to hear about the pastimes of Krishna. Of course we have to hear about the process of devotional service. And for example, we have to hear about the incarnations of the Lord and the devotees of Vishnu or Narayan or Ram. And we can learn so much because we have to perform devotional service. At the same time, proper behavior has to be there, sadachar, that we have to learn and that we can see how to act in different situations, what to do, what not to do, that we have to learn. And by reading, by hearing the Bhagavatam, then we will learn. But the most important is to hear about the pastimes of Mahaprabhu and the pastimes of Krishna in Braj, because that is where we want to go. Anyone wants to go to Vaikuntha? Vaikuntha? Anyone wants to go to see Narayan, Vishnu, Ramchandra? Anyone wants to see Dwarkadish? Anyone wants to see or go to Shetadip Navadip and see Mahaprabhu?
Haribol!
Okay, good. Anyone wants to go to Golok and see Radheshyam?
Haribol!
So that is our goal. And so therefore we have to hear. So it is mentioned by Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Jaiva Dharma, a wonderful book, that some devotees they will go only to Shetadip Navadvip to be with Mahaprabhu. Some devotees they will only go to, not only, they will go to Braj and be with Krishna Balaram or Radheshyam. But some fortunate souls they will go to Gaur-lila and Krishna Lila. Both. Like Rupa Goswami is in Gaur-lila and is there in Krishna Lila as Rupa Manjari. So we have to know. For example, so we're going to, if we go anywhere in this world, so we are going to, let's say India, so where we have to go to India? We want to go to Vrindavan, right? So we have to buy a ticket to Delhi and then we arrive in Delhi and then we have to take a train or a car, so we have to have some knowledge. And where are we going to stay? In Vrindavan. We have to book a room. So where we want to go in Navadvip, we have to have some information. Of course then everything will be revealed by chanting the holy names, but some information we have to have. And then we can pray. Just like for example Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada used to say, Bina dham seva, nam seva nahi hai. So without dham seva, without remembering the dham, we cannot remember or chant the holy names. Because where is Krishna? Krishna is in Braj, in the dham. Where is Mahaprabhu? In Navadvip. So what is Navadvip? Maithili, what is the meaning of Navadvip? Navadvip. Nine what? 9 islands, yes. You know any island? These 9 islands? Shvetadip, that is, Navadip is known as Shvetadip also. But the 9 islands. The middle one, the main one is known as Antardvip Mayapur. And then there are 8 more. Anyone knows any? Simantadvip, yes. And then? Koladvip, yes. Rudradvip. Godrumdvip. Madhyadvip. Mudadrumdvip. And then what else? Simantadvip. And Rudradvip. So 9 islands are there. And so Mahaprabhu is performing his pastimes, but he stayed, that we know in Mayapur, Antardvip. And for example, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, where he was staying? In Godrumdvip. And he wrote a beautiful beautiful stotram, 20 verses. Godrum Chandra Bhajan Upadesh. Godrum Chandra, the moon of Godrum, that is Gauranga Sundar. Gaura Chandra, different names of Mahaprabhu. Sri Krishna Chaitanya. So very beautiful stotram is there. Someone there, because he established the worship of Gaur Gadadhar. Smara Gaura Gadadhara Kelikalam Baba Gaura Gadadhara Pakshachala Shinu Gaura Gadadhara Charukata Bhaja Godrumakanana Kunjavidom. So he was saying Bhaja Godrumakanana Kunjavidom. Bhaja means worship. In Godrum, Bhaja Godrumakanana. So Kanan means beautiful garden. Kunja, in the kunjas there. Vidu means the moon. So that is Gaura Chandra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so Smara Gaura Gadadhara Keli Kalam. Remember the beautiful pastimes of Gaura Gadadhar. Adi Gadadhar is Gadadhar Pandit. Is the best friend of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, what is the luster and the bhav, the mood of Srimati Radharani. And Gadadhar is actually Srimati Radharani. So in Braj there Radhisham, and so Gaulila Mahaprabhu is there, it's Krishna with the mood of Radharani, and then Gadadhar is actually Srimati Radharani. So therefore he established the worship of Gaur Gadadhar in Mayapur, in the Yoga Pit, the appearance place of Mahaprabhu, and where he was performing his activities in Godrumdvip. He stayed in Surabhi Kunj, that was the name of his house, Surabhi Kunj, where he stayed, and where he was doing his translation or his research. The place is known as Swananda Sukhada Kunj. There he established the worship of Gaur Gadadhar. Smaragora Gadadhara Keli Kalam. So we should remember the beautiful pastimes of Gaur Gadadhar, the wonderful loving exchange of Gaur Gadadhar in Navadvip. And even so in this world, after Mahaprabhu took sannyas, he stayed in Jagannath Puri. And as he stayed there, then Gadadhar Pandit, he also left Mayapur Navadvip, and he also stayed in Jagannath Puri. And every day they were meeting each other there. And Mahaprabhu told, because they went in one garden there, Tota. There's two gardens are very nearby. One is Yameshwar Tota. There's one deity there of Lord Shiva, Yameshwar Tota. Before that, there was another garden, and he was walking there, and then suddenly he saw a stone there in the ground, black stone. He was thinking, and then the beautiful deity of Gopinath was there. And then he dug more, and then he saw a deity of Radharani and more a deity of Lalita Devi. And he established there, and then he told Gadadhar Pandit to worship these deities, which he did. And then every day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to go to see Gadadhar Pandit, and he used to ask him to read the Bhagavatam and say some pastime of the Bhagavatam. Of course, mostly he liked to hear about Radha and Krishna. But just to set the example, sometimes we was telling him many times, he decided 100 times. He asked Gadadhar Pandit, please tell me about Prahlad Maharaj and the life of Prahlad Maharaj. And sometimes, please tell me about the life of Dhruva Maharaj. So we can learn from these devotees. Therefore, Mahaprabhu himself, he was hearing. But then mostly he liked to hear about Radha and Krishna, because he is Krishna himself with the mood and lust of Radharani. And so he was relishing, and he was always remembering Radha and Krishna. Smaragora Gadadhara Keli Kalam Bhavagora Gadadhara Pakshachara. And then so we are aspiring to be in the group of Gaur Gadadhar, to be able to join Gaur Gadadhar in Chaitanya Navadvip. And of course we aspire ultimately to go to Braj and be under the shelter of
Rupa Manjari,
Srimati Radharani. Shinugora Gadadhara Charukata. So hear about the wonderful pastimes of Gaur Gadadhar. So in Navadvip the wonderful pastimes are there of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and then Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Shivas Pandit, as we explained yesterday. So when Bhaktivinoda Thakur established the worship of Gaur Gadadhar, and then we may be able to worship Radha and Krishna. So Radha and Krishna are appearing Day after tomorrow.
Hari Bol.
Here, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What about Mahaprabhu? Next year, or? In Shiva Sangha, Mahaprabhu should be there, no?
Yes.
You forgot about that, or? Anyway, let's see.
We thought we will not be able to take care of so many deities.
Okay. So Radha Krishna is enough. Okay. But then you pray that Mahaprabhu will appear when you're chanting the holy names, right?
Yes.
Like when Narottam Das Thakur. So all the associates had gone already. The Panchatat, Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, they disappeared from this world. Only few associates were there. And Nityananda Prabhu's concert was there, Janavama. And then, so they decided to do a festival, like we do every year also, Go Purnima festival, on the appearance day of Mahaprabhu. And Narottam invited his friend, Srinivasacharya, and they thought, let us install deities of Radha and Krishna. A few sets actually, I think maybe 4 sets, and one deity of Mahaprabhu. So Srinivasacharya was in charge of installing the deity and doing the ceremony. Janavama, she was in charge of cooking for the deities and all the devotees. And then Narottam, he was an expert singer and dancer. And so he wrote beautiful songs and he had a very nice voice. He was in charge of the kirtan. And so at one point he chanted on the actual day when the deities were being installed on Go Purnima. He chanted the holy names with his associates and they were chanting and dancing in ecstasy. So much so that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, Nityananda Prabhu appeared, Gadadhar Pandit appeared, Advaita Acharya, Shivas Pandit appeared.
Jai.
Shri Panchatattva ki.
Jai.
So Narottam Das Thakur could see, Srinivasacharya could see, Janavama could see, and a few pure devotees, but not everyone, only the pure devotees. So yes, and then we should perform our devotional service so that Mahaprabhu may appear when we chant the holy names.
Many of us have Gaurnita deities at home.
At home,
So
okay.
maybe we can bring them.
Yeah, sometimes you should bring because you have Shiva Sangha
Yes.
and you have Radha Krishna, that's nice. But Mahaprabhu should be there too.
Okay. Or maybe next year when you come, we can install Mahaprabhu.
Maybe, yeah.
Arriba.
Sounds good, yeah.
Yes.
Good idea. I was thinking also Mahaprabhu should be there. And actually Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, our Prabhupada's still master, he had just had one altar. Except in Navadvip of in Mayapur, so there are 3 altars there. With Panchatattva in one, and then in the middle one is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lakshmi Priya and Vishnu Priya, his eternal consort. And then in the 3rd altar, there are Radha and Krishna deities. But in other temples he had one altar, even in the main mat where Bhaktisiddhanta stayed, in Mayapur, Mool Mat, as deity of Mahaprabhu, Gauranga, and then Gandharvika Giridhari. So Mahaprabhu and Radha Krishna. So that is more easy to take care of. But then what he did also in the 4 directions, he had the 4 acharyas, just to show we should respect all Vaishnavas. Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Nibarkacharya, and Vishnu Swami. And if you see anyone has been in Mayapur, Navadvip? Not been? Only a few ladies not gone? You have been? Okay, good. Only 2. Beautiful place, right?
Some of them are going in the winter, right?
Okay, you're going.
Sripad.
In in the winter you will go. Okay, nice, wonderful.
Sripad Vaisheshika Prabhu is taking them.
Okay, good.
And in ISV, in California also, it is Radha Madan Mohan and Mahaprabhu.
Okay.
And in Govardhan Eco Village also.
Yes, right. So some temples in Iskcon also, but in Gaudiya Math, many temples, that Mahaprabhu and then
Radha Krishna.
Radha and Krishna.
In Bhakti Center also now. In New York.
In New York.
Radha Murlidhar and Mahaprabhu.
Okay, yes. Even actually in New York, Carmount Street, the Radha Govinda, and one time Ramabhadra, he installed Mahaprabhu. But then later on they brought Nityananda also.
Then you need separate altars.
Yeah, I mean if the small deities are there, it's a kind of okay. But better if you have one altar, you have Mahaprabhu and Radha and Krishna.
So next year, Srila Gurudev.
Okay, sounds good.
Haribol?
Everyone ready?
Haribol!
Okay, fine. Good, yeah. But the altar will be big enough, or
Yes.
will be big enough?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Yes, that will be perfect.
Jai.
Because if Mahaprabhu is not there, we are in Shiva Sangha, there is no Mahaprabhu. Radha Krishna is wonderful, yes. But in Shiva Sangha, Mahaprabhu has to be there.
Yes.
And then when Mahaprabhu is there, Vande Guru Vishwabhaktam Isham Avatarakam Tam Prakasham Chachatakshri Krishna Chaitanya Samgakam. So if you say Mahaprabhu, that means Vande Guru, the Diksha and Shiksha Guru are there. And Mahaprabhu himself is the Lord, and then Mahaprabhu's devotees headed by Shiva's Pandit, and then Prakash, the manifestation, the first manifestation is Nityananda, the Shakti is Gadadhar Pandit, and then the avatar, that is Advaita Chaya, they will be there. So therefore, by having Mahaprabhu, then everything will be fine.
Haribol.
And before worshipping Radha Krishna, we should worship Mahaprabhu. And before that, Guru. Guru Puja, then Gauranga Puja, then Krishna Puja. So, that would be perfect then. Okay. Jai.
Jai.
Sachinandana Gaura Hari Ki. Jai. Sisi Radha Shyam Sundar Ki.
Jai.
Jai, Jai, Jai.
Jai.
Okay, anything else? What is the time?
Time is 8:47.
8:47. Okay, we still have a few minutes.
Damodar Leela Prabhu had questions yesterday.
Okay.
Questions.
Yeah.
Huh?
Mantra? Oh, mantra. Yeah, I was reciting a mantra in the beginning.
I think kids have memorized it.
Yeah?
You can say the mantra loudly. You all know
Okay.
it? Gurave Gaur Chandraya. Come on. Loudly.
Chandraya Radhika
Loudly.
Not yet. Okay, any of the boys? Okay, for those who were not here in the beginning, so you fold your hands and you repeat after me. Gurave Gaura Chandraya
Gurave Gaura Chandraya
Radhikaya Tadalaya
Radhikaya Tadalaye
Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya
Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya
Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha.
Bhaktaya Namo Namaha.
Okay, good. Now any of the boys can recite?
Apurva Prem. Loudly.
Gurave Gaura Chandraya
Gurave Gaura Chandraya
Radhikaya Tadalaye
Radhikaya
Tadalaye
Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya
Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya
Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha.
Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Okay, very good. Any of the girls or the ladies? Not yet? Yes?
Gurave Gaura Chandraya
Gurave Gaura Chandraya
Radhikaya Tadale
Radhikaya Tadalaye
Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya
Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya
Bhaktaya Namo Namaha.
Tad
Bhaktaya Namo Namaha.
Okay, very good. Good.
Srila Gurudev, we are doing, these kids, they are doing presentations every Saturday, 10-minute presentation on the 24 Gurus.
Okay.
So I already do Mangalacharan before that.
Uh-huh.
So they do short Mangalacharan with this verse.
Okay.
Because in one video you said that this is one verse, the full Mangalacharan is there.
Right. But they already know.
Yeah, some of them who have made the presentation, they know.
Okay.
Akshay also knows. Where is Akshay? Yeah,
Okay.
they know. Apurva Prem had said this. So some of
Okay,
them.
good. So you can all learn. So in the morning when you get up, so what is the first thing you're doing in the morning? Yeah, then you can chant this mantra. The first thing. And the night time before sleeping, you chant this mantra. And you have exams in school? So before writing the exam, you chant Gurave Gaura Chandraya. You will get good marks.
Srila Gurudev, can you explain the mantra?
Yeah.
To the
So,
understanding?
Namo Namaha, we have 4 obeisances. Gurave, that is dative case, that means unto the spiritual master. Maybe Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru. Gaura Chandraya, Gaura Chandra, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Radhikayai, unto Srimati Radharani. So we say Radhika, but in dative, unto it becomes Radhikayai.
Unto Radharani.
And the Tadalaye means a dwelling place, Varshana, and we remember the gopis also. And then Krishnaya, unto Krishna, Krishna Bhaktaya, unto Krishna's devotees, Tad Bhaktaya, maybe the devotees of the devotees, all the devotees of the Lord. So obeisances to all of them. So that is a wonderful verse.
So in one shloka, we are offering obeisances to
To
everyone.
everyone, yeah. So easy.
Guru, Gauranga, Radha, Krishna and all the devotees.
Right, yeah. Sometimes we are asked to speak for 2 minutes, and then, so we should offer pranam to Guru Gauranga and Krishna, then we can chant that mantra.
So one mantra, full Mangalacharana.
Yeah. And the ladies before cooking, because when you cook, we should remember Guru. We should remember Radharani, who is cooking for Krishna. So we can chant this mantra. And then we meditate that we are assisting our spiritual master, or we are assisting Srimati Radharani in cooking. So that mantra is very helpful.
And this is from Sri Rupa Goswami's Padyavali.
No, actually it is not there.
This is not there.
The author is unknown, but it is accepted. Just like in this book Padyavali, there are very nice mantras, maybe 300 mantras, which Rupa Goswami collected. And many times he writes by Mahaprabhu himself, this mantra, this by
South Indian Brahman.
this Brahmana, that devotee. And many times, maybe almost 30% of the mantras he writes, author unknown.
Oh.
But because the verse is beautiful and because it is properly composed, there's no overlapping of mellows, so included, although you didn't know where from. But if you get a jam, or if you go on the street and you find a $5 note, I mean, you may pick it up, right? And use it in Krishna Seva.
Yeah.
So if you find a jam on the floor, which is rare, but if you find, then you pick it up. So similarly, it is different mantras may be there, and you may not know the owner of the $5 note or the gem, then you may keep and use in Krishna Seva. So we find some nice shloka which is not having any overlapping mellows, then we can use in the Lord's service. So that is the mood of Rupa Goswami, and that. So this mantra is not there, but it is well known amongst the Gaudiya Vaishnavas in our Sampradaya. So that we may recite. So any question?
Damodar Lila Prabhu yesterday.
Or ladies, any questions? Everything clear? Yes.
Thank you for the wonderful class notes. We're very, very fortunate to have your association. You explain all about the holy name and how important is chanting. But sometimes with day-to-day activities, how much ever we try, chanting attentively is difficult. Mind gets distracted. So how can you give some practical tips on how can we chant better?
Yes. Yes, first of all we have to have the enthusiasm, like Utsav Nischay Daryat, Prabhu Goswami. We have to be enthusiastic and we have to be fixed. Like for example, when you do some activity, we do sankalpa, declaration of the activity, and then that means we are fixed that we are going to do this. So the determination has to be there that I have to chant nicely every day. Even let's say I don't have much time, but then I can maybe not chant 16, but let me chant at least 4 rounds. And let me chant the rounds nicely. So you must have the enthusiasm, you must have the determination, and then you must have the patience. Because even though you may want to chant nicely, with love, with tears coming from the eyes, but it may not happen immediately because of anarthas in the heart, because of the modality of nature. Therefore we have to be very patient with ourselves and others. It will take some time, but we have to practice, and we should know that eventually we'll be able to chant nicely. Ashabandha. So we keep the hope, and even hope against hope. It's almost hopeless with chanting since 10 years and still the mind is going here and there, and Nayanam Galada Sudaraya. You chant from the Shikshashtakam, you chant every day, or when will the tears come from my eyes? When will my voice choke up? When will the hairs on my body stand on the end while chanting the holy names? So we're chanting every day, right? And so we should pray and hope, but then we have to be patient, that it will take some time. So it may take 10 years, it may take 20 years, but eventually it will happen. So we have to be patient. And we have to have this enthusiasm, the determination, and we have to pray, and we have to cry. Prabhupada used to say also, just like a child crying. Bhakti Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Bhakti Yoga Dhan. Bhakti A. Krishna Nam Smarane Krandane. The wealth of Bhakti Yoga. What is it? Krishna Nam, that is the wealth. That Smarane we should remember, so we chant the holy names, and Krandane, crying. So, and of course different forms of crying. One is, you can cry without tears also. I'm fallen and I cannot chant nicely. So cry in this way. If you're more desperate, then you may cry with tears. A few tears at least. And so that has to be there. And then you may be able to attract Krishna's attention. Just you have children, right? What?
And my son.
Abha and Akshaj.
Abha and?
Akshaj. Akshaj.
Akshaj. Okay. So they were small, right? Now she's big, and he's big too. When they were small, they were crying also, right? Sometimes. Mami, mama, or mataji, mata, ma. I. Oh, they're from south or what?
They are Maharashtrian.
Maharashtra. The mother is I?
Yeah, like
Even
Bengali.
in Bengali also is I.
Yeah.
Okay, I. With tears in the eyes, right? The child is crying, right? With tears. And then immediately come. Oh, what is happening, Abba? What happened? Right? It happened a few times? Many times, right? If the daughter inside is crying, the mother is coming. So if we are crying, if the tears are not there, the mother, okay. Mama, please give me this or that, or I. But if she's crying, then you're going immediately. If she's crying strongly, then what happened?
Yeah.
So if we're crying with tears, then Mahaprabhu or Krishna will come. So that we have to learn the art of crying. First without tears, and then we may cry with tears. So even sometimes, so the children are crying, even the elders are crying sometimes. And so she was going to school, and the son also, with there's a school van or
Yeah, school bus.
school bus, yeah.
Now she's in college.
Now in college, okay. Yeah, she's big now, yeah. Now she's not crying much, right? Still crying? Okay. Ma, I need this, I need that. And then Ma is giving, right? She's giving. Because you're crying. So and then sometimes the bus is going and sometimes the bus was late also.
Yes.
And then you're worried, right?
Yeah.
What is happening? So like this. So then sometimes the mother will cry. Or the child is going out, the boy is playing with the other boys and is late and is not there. Then the mother will cry. Where is my child? And tears will come. So also for Krishna, so we should learn to cry. Not so easy, but we cry. If you cannot cry, you cry that you can cry. First without tears, and then maybe in the future the tears will come also. And then if one is purified, then later on you can chant with tears in the eyes, because it is so beautiful. The chanting, and then Krishna will be there. If you see Krishna, then tears will come, because Krishna is so beautiful. You have already seen Krishna while chanting? Not yet, huh? But if you see Krishna, beautiful Krishna, playing the flute, and so that is the perfection. You chant and you see Krishna and he's playing the flute, then you may be crying. Krishna is so beautiful. And then out of bliss you may be crying, and the tears are cool, that is mentioned. When you're in bliss and you're crying. But then Krishna suddenly disappears. And then separation, like Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri, seeing Krishna at the sand dunes there, and Chatak Parvat, where Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada's mat was there. He was staying there on one of the hills, near Tota Gopinath. So one time Mahaprabhu was there chanting the holy names, and then suddenly he sees Krishna there. And then Krishna, 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 running there towards Krishna. And then he's going to embrace Krishna, and Krishna disappears. He's falling on the ground, crying, Krishna, Kotai, Krishna, Kotai, Krishna. Where is Krishna, where is Krishna? And tears coming from the eyes. And in separation, the burning fire of separation, then the tears are hot. And one time he was there also, unconscious, and then suddenly he sees Krishna also. And he sees Radharani. And then he sees himself, because he's no different from Radha Krishna, but he came to give the holy names, and he came to give Gopi Bhav, the mood of the gopis. So he sees himself as a gopi, and then he's picking one flower, and then he's going to give, he's ready to give to Radharani, who will give to Krishna. He's unconscious. That is Antardasha. He's lying on the ground, and he's not knowing what is happening outside, but inside is absorbed, seeing Krishna, Radharani, Antardasha. And then Swarup Damodar Raya Ramananda coming there. Oh, Mahaprabhu is on the floor, he's unconscious. They are trying to make him conscious, but he's not getting up. And then Swarup Damodar is chanting, and the other devotees also loudly, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And so then Mahaprabhu is hearing the holy names. And then that scene of Radha Krishna and himself offering flowers is gone, and he becomes conscious. And he's looking at Swarup Damodar and the other devotees and saying, I was seeing Krishna and Radharani, and I was going to offer a flower. and you woke me up. And then he started crying and crying and crying. And the devotees, what to do? And they tried to console him. So very amazing pastimes of Mahaprabhu. Radha Krishna's pastimes are wonderful, and Mahaprabhu's pastime is also very wonderful, amazing. So he's completely absorbed in Radha and Krishna and remembrance of them. Of course, sometimes he remembers the cows and the calves also, but mostly he's absorbed in Radha and Krishna. And these wonderful transcendental emotions are there. So chanting the holy names in love, but then feeling separation. So showing also that we have to be engaged in spiritual activities, and then some loving sentiments will be there. But then we have to tolerate also the feelings of separation. We feel some bliss in the association with the devotees or hearing, but then again that disappears, and then usually then our case is different than Mahaprabhu and the pure devotees. They're in Antardasha, they're always transcendental. But mostly as sadhakas we are in Bahir Dasha, external situation, and trying to become a little bit absorbed in Krishna. So, but still we should take inspiration, and then sometimes, so that we remember and we can relish the few moments when we are a little bit absorbed and getting some transcendental pleasure by chanting japa or by in kirtan. It is sometimes more easy, because if many devotees are there, then Krishna becomes more quickly present, or in the form of the holy names, and then the bliss is there. Or if we hear about Krishna, we hear about Mahaprabhu, then we forget this material world. But as soon as the lecture is over, then the material world is there again, and the problems are there, and the mind and senses going here and there. So, but then we have to tolerate and remember the good moments and pray that when the good moments are coming again, when we can be a little bit absorbed. And then, so in this way, slowly but surely we can increase. So we should relish these few moments which are there, and pray that when these good moments are coming again, and they should come more and more and more and more. So we have to pray for this. And then we have to tolerate our situation. That, so praying is very far. Even bhavavasta or asakti, to become completely attached to Krishna and detached from this world. But then we pray to, so that we may be able to come to the platform of nishta, being fixed, or ruchi, nam ruchi, tasting, chanting the holy names. So that we should pray for that. But then we have to be patient. So it will take some time. So it may take 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, maybe 20 years. What to do? So different stages are there of bhakti. Just like children going to school. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. You're in which class? You?
Eighth class.
8th class. So 8 years you were going to school, right? How many years more? 4 more. 4 more. You cannot jump, right? You can jump to the 12th? No? You have to wait 4 more years, right? So Shraddha to pray. You cannot jump suddenly to pray. It will take some time. So you have to be patient. That you have to understand. And so it depends now, how much you did last lifetime. And then of course by mercy of Guru we can advance in this lifetime, but usually previous impressions are there also. And if you have good impressions, it will be easier. If you have less good impressions, it will take a little more time. But we have to be patient, that's all. And then ultimately we will achieve the desired result. Krishna prema. Of course, full prema we cannot have in this body as a sadhaka. But we can come to a Sakti Bhav. Bhav is also known as Prem Ankur, the sprouting of Prem. So we should try to see that we can make as much advancement as possible to that. Okay? Hare Krishna. Any more questions? Yes.
Very wonderfully explain you regarding chanting, and after Mata asked the question, I now was able to relate more. I heard many times the child like a cry as like a child, but now how you have given an example, more elaborately I can relate more. Thank you for that. My question is, we heard Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself taking a mood of Radharani, and we heard the pastime from you now, and Adhika Prabhuji also mentioned on last Saturday and Sunday. In Antelila, Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji was expressing a lot of suppression and a lot of up and downs gone through. Just my question is, Gadadhar Pandit, he is Krishna himself, Radharani himself. What is Gadadhar Pandit's mood towards Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
So Gadadhar Pandit is very dear associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they were like best friends. And he's assisting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in relishing the mood of Srimati Radharani. Because he's Radharani himself. He's Radharani, so he knows the mood. But as Gadadhar Pandit, so and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna, but the relationship there is friendly, and Gadadhar Pandit is there in the mood of assisting Mahaprabhu. So he's serving Mahaprabhu. So most loving relationship is there, but in the service mood. Actually most of the devotees of Mahaprabhu are there in the service mood. And but then of course Gadadhar Pandit, he has so much love for Krishna because he's Radharani, and ultimately he's also aware of his position. And then he's also remembering Radha and Krishna and the loving exchange of Radha and Krishna that is there. So, yes, and of course, mostly the associates of Mahaprabhu, like Mahaprabhu himself, he didn't have deities, because that would be a kind of overlapping of mellows. He was not worshipping Radha and Krishna, he was thinking, remembering Radha and Krishna, their pastimes. But he had a Shila, Sarigama, which he was worshipping. So similarly Gadadhar Pandit, so he was of course offering so much respect to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but more in the service mood, and then he was also remembering Radha and Krishna and assisting Mahaprabhu in the remembrance of Radha and Krishna in Navadvip. Navadvip is actually the highest place. Sometimes devotees think, or sometimes it is mentioned, Puri, that is the highest place and the highest mood of separation is there. It is very high, that is true, the mood of separation. But the highest place is actually Navadvip, in Prakat Lila also. And so the loving sentiments of Gadadhar Pandit towards Krishna, or of course then towards Mahaprabhu in Navadvip, and Mahaprabhu's remembrance of Radha and Krishna. So that is the highest, is there in Navadvip, in Mayapur. But then in Jagannath Puri it is there to teach the devotees how important are the moods of separation, which will help us to increase our hankering to be with Krishna, and that will increase, augment our love towards Krishna. So that we have to understand. And therefore the deities when we worship, Gonitai, it is in Navadvip, or we worship Gaur Gadadhar in Navadvip, not in Puri. And so Radha Krishna, so Mahaprabhu is always remembering and discussing about Radha and Krishna, Krishna Balaram. With Gadadhar is more discussing about Radha and Krishna. With Nityananda we will speak more about Krishna Balaram and the friends, like that. So Gadadhar Pandit has pure love for Mahaprabhu as friend, as best friends, and is there in the mood of assisting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his mood of Radharani. He's in the mood of Radharani, relishing the pranaya, the love of Radharani, relishing the adabud gun, the wonderful qualities of Mahaprabhu, and Sokyam Ananda, so the transcendental bliss she is experiencing, Radharani, in regards to the exchange with Krishna, so is experiencing that in the form of Mahaprabhu, and Gadadhar is assisting him in this way. And so in this way naturally, so they are both absorbed in remembering Radha and Krishna, and ultimately they know that they are not different from Radha and Krishna. They are not different, but at the same time the separate existence is there. Radha Krishna is there in Golok, and Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar Pandit are in Navadvip. They are not different, and they are different. So both pastimes exist eternally, simultaneously. Navadvip Gaur-lila and in Braj Krishna Lila is there. And Mahaprabhu knows he's no different, that is Krishna and Gadadhar is Radharani. But the relationship is different in Navadvip. So there's no bhav that is enjoying with, there's no possible. He has his consort, Lakshmi Priya and Vishnu Priya. So it is very deep and not so easy to fully understand. We cannot fully understand the pastimes of the Lord of Mahaprabhu, even Radha Krishna. But as much as the acharyas have explained, and as much as we are able to chant the holy names and be dedicated and purified in existence, then it will be revealed to us also more and more. But Krishna is unlimited, Mahaprabhu is unlimited, the pastimes are unlimited and very deep and mysterious and inconceivable. So Gadadhar Pandit, so it is mentioned also that Lalita there is also there in the form of Gadadhar, and Hari himself is there also. And we have Ramananda Roy, that is Vishaka Sakhi. Sometimes Vishaka is Swarup Damodar and Lalita Devi is Ramananda Roy. That is explained also by Prabhupada and the Acharyas. How we can understand with our intelligence, not possible. Only by performing devotional service we can realize something. And then Arjun is there also in Ramananda Roy. Which Arjun? Both. Arjun, Pandava Arjun and Arjun Sakha and Arjuniya Gopi. And Pandava Arjun is there in Dwarka, and is there Arjun Sakha and Arjuniya Sakhi. These are the manifestations of Arjun. They are not different from Arjun, but they are different. So Arjun is in Dwarka and is there also in Krishna Lila in two forms, as Arjun Gop and Arjuniya Gopi, and they're all there in Ramananda Roy. So it's inconceivable. Hare Krishna. So, anything else?
you explained saying that some fortunate people, devotees, will go to the Krishna Lok and some fortunate will go to the Navadvip.
And some will go to both.
Both, yeah. As I know, or I understood, as we are worshipping to assisting Guru to worship Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, from there we are worshipping Radha Krishna. That's all we know. At least I know. As you mentioned, there's some fortune. What it mean that some fortune? Is this any processes mentioned? As Rupa Goswami given a process, or you can say guideline to follow Bhaktidatta Sindhu, what it is mentioned to worship Radha and Krishna, how to follow the process.
Yes.
As you mentioned that is some process.
Of course, process is there. The process is there. So that you have to learn from the spiritual master, from the scriptures. It is there in the scriptures, but usually we need the help of the spiritual master. Just like in the school, the books are there, but it's a teacher. Because only by reading the books will be difficult. But then there's a teacher there. Similarly, the Bhakti Shastras are there. But you need a teacher to explain properly everything. Otherwise it will take you too much time and you break your head trying to understand. But if the teacher is there, he can easily explain. So the teacher is there, the spiritual master is the teacher. Diksha Shiksha Guru, he will explain. Then you can understand. So that is the process, Abhideya, of how to perform devotional service. First Sadhana Bhakti, and then after, if you are more advanced, purified in consciousness, then Raganuga Bhakti, following the associates of Krishna and Braj. So the process is there. And the acharyas have given the books, being instructed by Mahaprabhu. Upadeshamrita Bhakti-rasamrita Sindhu. And then if one is in the mood of the gopis, then Ujjwal Nilamani is there. And even the books of Raghunath Das Goswami, like Vilap Kusumanjali, and other books are there. And then, so with the guidance of the Spring Master, you may be able then to follow this process by which you can advance more, by which you can come to Prayojan Tattva, the goal of life or the necessity to develop your pure love for Krishna. And therefore, so even for example, Bhajan Rahasya is there, and Jaiva Dharma, which there is explaining Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the process. And he has studied the literatures of the previous acharyas, and he has given the essence in his books. And of course, Prabhupada has given, everything is there in his books also, and he's explained that first we read Bhagavad Gita, then we read Bhagavatam, then we read Chaitanya Charitamrita, and he told us to read Upadeshamrita, Bhakti-rasamrita Sindhu, and then we can advance. And then he has indicated also, like Prabhupada said, anyone wants to know about Bhagavan, Bhakta and Bhakti must read this book, Brihad Bhagavatamrita. So then we should read, but first we read the Bhagavatam, the CC, and then we can read this book. And then he has mentioned also in the song Goranga Bolite Habe Pulaka Sharira.
Rupa Raghunatha Pade.
Yeah, Rupa Raghunatha Pade, Hoibe Akuti. So then he has explained we should study the books of the Acharyas. And in one purport in the CC is writing, and the advanced devotees, they relished this book, Krishna Bhavanamrit, which is about Radha Krishna's pastimes during the day and the night, known as Nitya Lila or Ashtakalya Lila, what Krishna is doing during the day and night. So eventually we have to learn, and then we can remember, we can meditate, and then we can chant properly.
Yeah.
So process is there. So we have to adopt the process. But yeah, first you have to do Vaidhi Bhakti, we go to the primary school, and then secondary school, and then we can go to college, high school, university, and get PhD. So same in Bhakti also. Different books are there. For the beginners and for those who are more advanced, for those who are most advanced. But then you need a teacher. It's like in school. Even when you're grown up. Abba, you have teacher in college? You need teacher, right? When you go to university, teachers are there, professors. So to speak in Bhakti, especially in Braj Bhakti, to go to Vaikuntha is maybe a little easier. But to go to Braj, that is a little more difficult. So you need a teacher. So that is a spiritual master. And maybe initiating spiritual master or instructing spiritual master. Diksha Shiksha Guru. So they're usually equal. Okay? Anything else?
I have a question, but I think we don't have time.
Amita, please go ahead.
Really quick, because it's smaller group, I want to ask regarding, I've been reading and thinking about the separation and the grief that gopis go through. It's unconceivable, we cannot even imagine. But once Adi Prabhu had explained in elaborate way, I think on Sharad Purnima Day, the whole separation and everything. I understand that the gopis are Uttama devotees, and in the last life, past previous lives, they were sons and Mahatmas and also gopis. But yesterday's class, Prabhuji had mentioned about Krishna's boyfriends, the boys and all the other people in Braj. So where can I find references of how they felt during separating from?
Yes. That is mentioned also in the scriptures of our acharyas. Something little in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. But then there's one book also by one devotee. Priya Bhakti Rasanava. So there it is mentioned more. Priya Bhakti Rasanava. So there you can see. Okay.
I'll share the book.
Okay. Anything else? So we stop here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sripad Mukunda Datta Prabhu ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. New Shiva Sangam ki.
Satchinandana Gaur Hari ki. Radha Shama Sundar ki.